The merry-go-round that wouldn't. One fine summer morning, Percy the small engine was waiting to start work when he heard a magical sound. It was very faint and far off, but he definitely heard it. I wonder what it is, he thought to himself. There it is again! Edward the blue engine, who was already hard at work taking empty trucks from the yard to the china clay pits, smiled kindly. Don't you remember from last year, Percy? He asked. It's the fun fair. It comes every summer to Wellsworth, and all the children love it, as well as their parents and friends. Percy could hardly contain his excitement, and kept giving little beep 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 as he trundled about his duties. If only I could see the fun fair, he said to his driver. Percy was in luck, because the site chosen for the fun fair was a large field near the railway line that he worked on every day. The field was full of brightly coloured caravans and painted signs, and people hustling and bustling about their business, setting up the fun fair ready for the customers that evening. Each time Percy passed, another colourful fair ride had appeared. He saved up the news to tell Trevor the traction engine, who was dozing in the sun outside a barn further along the track. Now there's a great big thing with lights all over it, Percy chatted, and it's got horses and cars and an aeroplane and an engine that looks just like me. Trevor smiled. That sounds like the merry-go-round, Percy, he said. Percy wanted to know what a merry-go-round was and what it did. Trevor explained. Well, the children all choose what to ride on. It could be a horse, or an aeroplane, or a car, or an engine, pipped up Percy. Or an engine, agreed Trevor. Then when they're all aboard, the merry-go-round music starts to play, and they go round and up and down till the music stops. Do they enjoy it? Asked Percy, who was feeling quite giddy at the thought. Very much, said Trevor. He sighed. It was a long time since he had been to the fair. What fun it would be, he thought, if he could go along to give the children rides. I love giving rides to the children, he said. But Percy had already hurried off to see if the merry-go-round was going round yet. That evening the fair was crowded, as people flocked to have a go on all the rides. There was a particularly long queue for the merry-go-round, for something awful had happened. The merry-go-round wouldn't go round, or rather it couldn't. The machinery that turned it round had broken down. Everyone was very disappointed. Luckily Percy's driver was there with his family. He remembered stopping to talk to Trevor the traction engine that morning. Trevor could help out until you get that fixed, he told the merry-go-round owner. And that's just what happened. In no time Trevor found himself hitched up to the merry-go-round with strong ropes. Round and round went Trevor, pulling the merry-go-round and all its passengers round and round after him. He did enjoy himself, and he didn't feel the least bit dizzy. I shall enjoy telling Percy all about this tomorrow, he thought to himself. Afterwards, everyone told him what a useful traction engine he had been.
Buzzing bees. One summer evening, as James finished his work on the main line, he slowed down to say hello to Farmer Mills. Trevor the traction engine was also there. Suddenly, there was a swarm of bees everywhere. They buzzed angrily around James's funnel, around his coaches, and flew in and out of open windows. James didn't like bees. He remembered he got stung by one of them before. Beep beep, whistled James. Buzz off! He hurried away back to the sheds as quickly as he could. There, he found that the other engines had similar trouble. They tried to fly down my funnel, grumbled Thomas. I had to blow really hard to get them out. They tried buzzing around me too, grumbled Henry. I had to wish steam to scare them off. Despite the bees may be troublesome, they produce good honey, said Emily and Rosie together. You're not helping, the other three engines said. The next morning, Thomas and James's drivers saw Farmer Mills and the vicar waving to them from the side of the line. They stopped to say hello, and as they did, the bees buzzed back to Thomas and James. Both of them were very cross and tried to make them buzz off again. Where all those bees come from, Farmer Mills? Asked James's driver. They're mine, he explained. I kept them in that row of hives over there. The bees are usually very happy and quiet, but they become quite worried and angry recently after a large tree branch fell on their hives and damaged them. They flew out of their hives and are in a bit of a panic. That's why they sound so angry, said Thomas and James. They felt sorry for the bees now. I tried to calm them down and get them into the new hives I made for them, but because they're so frightened, they won't go in. They've been causing trouble for our passengers, the drivers explained. They've been complaining. I'm sorry, but I don't know what to do. I've been trying to keep them happy in the same way that all beekeepers do. I puffed some smoke into the hives to keep them quiet, but the machine I used was broken when the branch fell. I can't make smoke without it. Then Thomas and James had an idea. We're good at making smoke. The two engines huff and puff, blowing smoke everywhere. Henry the Green Engine was on his way back, saw everything, and did the same thing. It had an amazing effect on the bees. As they flew through the smoke, they slowed down and became much quieter. Soon their angry buzzing stopped, and they hummed quietly. The bees are going into their new hives at last. A few days later, Farmer Mills and the vicar came to see the engines and their drivers and firemen. They had brought jars of golden honey to say thank you for all their help. Thanks to you, my bees are feeling safe and happy again. You really are useful engines.